Film lights can be really expensive, and that's why a lot of people turn to natural light. But that's not the only thing natural light can be used for. It can be a really good teaching tool to help you learn how light can look in different situations. I think studying natural light, seeing how it interacts with the world around you, and then trying to replicate it in your own lighting scenarios and in your own setups is a super beneficial way to learn and a great resource that everyone has. Everyone can look outside and see what's happening with the light in my area. Go walk around your neighborhood and see how it interacts with different houses, with different materials, how it's kind of shining partly through the leaf and it's making the leaf glow a little bit. How does it look in the evening? How does it look in the morning? Go to the same spot multiple times and see how the time of day changes how that area looks and how that area feels. The different types of light can give an environment a totally different feeling. And I think that's something to explore and something to learn from and a tool that can be really useful. It can be really beneficial in helping kind of craft and create your eye for light. And I think that's a really important skill to have, to be able to look and see, I want a certain type of mood, so I need to have this type of light, or I want to create this sort of an environment, so I want to have these types of shadows hitting this wall. That's where observing natural light and seeing how it makes you feel can be so beneficial. There are times when I go outside and it feels ominous outside. And why does it feel so ominous? What's going on with the light to make me feel that way? Or there are other times like this morning when I went out for a morning walk, it felt really crisp and bright. So understanding why the light is causing me to feel that way can be really beneficial as a tool to help me use that on a film set, and it can help me convey those emotions through light. So that's something that I've been trying to do, trying to observe the natural light and understand how it's making me feel, what kinds of shadows are being cast by a tree. How does this dappled light look on a person? And then I can try and implement that into my studio lighting or into my creative lighting and get those same effects, but in a more consistent way. Because that's the big thing with natural light, is it's really inconsistent. It's really hard to keep the same exact amount of light when you're using just natural light. Some of the most beautiful movie scenes in film happen with lighting that doesn't distract from what's going on in that film world. It lifts it up and it gives it more impact. So learning from natural light can help you create lighting scenarios that don't distract and that allow the story to kind of take center stage. The idea of only ever having a key light and a backlight and a kicker light or a fill light and sticking with this same scenario every single time is one that just doesn't work, and it doesn't happen in the real world. Not everyone is perfectly lit. Sometimes you're backlit, sometimes you're side lit, and sometimes there's very little light at all. In these scenarios and observing them are important to bring into your creative lighting that you do on different projects. Like I said earlier, I'm using only natural light to light this scene. And there are a lot of things you can do with natural light. You can use a bunch of different modifiers to get a different look and a different feel. You might use a gold bounce like I'm using right now to get a little more warmth in the bounce. Or you could flip it to a silver bounce or to an ultra bounce. And those are all going to give a different feeling and kind of help convey a different emotion. These are all things to consider and things to experiment with when using natural light. Once you're able to kind of see how these things interact with natural light, you're able to implement them into bigger lighting setups. And you're able to take a branch of a tree and run it in front of a light to get that sort of dappled shadow look and create an environment that feels real, even though it's 100% manufactured. Film lights can be really expensive, especially if you're looking for a high... Oh my goodness, Luna.